I love all of these decks today. This is a great day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how these...
If you guys wanted something fun to play on the ladder, you've got so many decks to just copy and try out from today. I like it.
Here we go into the match, and it looks like we're going to start out watching the Swordcraft versus the Bloodcraft, and Dragon Band on one side and Blood Band on the other.
So essentially, the Bloodcraft deck that got banned for Osav is his Form and Function Vengeance Blood deck, and he gets to play his 2 Highlander decks, and I think
Very
that's
interesting.
his choice.
Yeah,
He
very
wants this to
very
happen.
interesting, because now you're playing into 2 decks where you can't quite tell what's going to happen, whereas a Vengeance Blood deck, it might be too tough for you to stop, which is definitely a reason to ban it, but you also kind of know what's going to happen, so I wonder if you really should have banned it, right?
Right, it's interesting, too, because you're playing a very aggressive lineup in Zeruel's list here, and I feel like Vengeance Blood could be an easy target for you. But I feel like, you know, coming from a competitive standpoint in my mind, it's like, he built these 2 decks, and they look so random. There's no way they can do something consistent against me. I'm just going to try it out.
Yeah, there's no way.
But
that's how it got all the way here.
Exactly. Osav got all the way to the winner's side of things by basically convincing all of his opponents probably to ban this Vengeance Blood deck out, because it's the only one that makes sense.
The Osav mind trick.
Yeah, exactly. The old sleight of hand. It's like, I've got this really good deck. You should ban it. It's like, but I've got these other sweet decks that you have no idea.
He is the real trickster.
That's right.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll see. Swordcraft has had its first run of the day, and it wasn't the most successful. Did end up getting a win, but
oh my God, that win!
Yeah,
that is a
scrappy.
win. That is a win when you're playing a game. You're just like, oh yeah, it just feels so good. You feel kind of scummy. You feel kind of bad for your opponent, but then you're like, nah, this is awesome. I'm the best.
It was very well set up from that point on. I think, you know, to come back from 1 health.
Absolutely. And we see Bad Catha in yet another deck. Of course, in Osav's list, he's got one of a lot of things.
Wise Merman. I like it.
Not the best curve from the Aggro Blood deck, unfortunately, is going to run out of follower steam here pretty quickly and cards in hand. Did not draw any of his cards that continue the flow of cards like Baphomet's Goblin Mage, anything like that.
And the Evolve turns are probably going to shift things around. We'll see. He's got the carrot into the Maisie, so that's an option. And I think that's fine, right? Against a aggro blood deck, it's not like the Maisie is going to hit anything super big,
like it
right?
can hit a Hector or something like that, but realistically in a deck like this, are you really afraid of Hector?
Yeah.
Not really.
You should just reduce damage that's coming in and slowly eke your way out.
I mean, realistically, he has many ways to do this. He's got the Kahulin, too. Now, if he had something like a Lyriel in hand, that would be amazing, because then he could clear the entire board, but he does not.
Yeah, Lyriel's great.
Yeah.
Lyriel is great. Plays out the carrot, too.
And I don't mind this play at all. He's got another neutral follower in hand. He's got the carrot going, so that Maisie's probably going to be active whenever he wants it to be, so not a big deal.
Yep. The carrot is left to its own devices.
And this is where I think Zeruel's going to start to struggle. He's going to have to. Oh, okay. That's again, but it's not amazing. It's not going to take care of the carrot by itself. So
he has to use the Tina.
Yeah, he can use the Tina. This is rough. This is rough. When you're not playing the late game options, here's the big deck building decision. If you're not playing the Sockwills and the Israfils and the top end of the curve, a lot of times you're going to get into the situation where you just don't have any cards in your hand.
Doesn't even have a Phantom Cat to kind of replenish things.
And I feel like that calls into question, if you're not running 3 Baphomets and 3 Goblin Mages in a deck like this, how are you expecting to keep cards in your hand, is the real question. Especially if you throw out your Razor Claws early to get your hand size down. But of course in this deck, I guess Razor Claw holding isn't that big of a deal because it's not a neutral card, so it's interesting. Interesting lines with this deck.
Yeah, ends up playing the Hector instead. Which I guess, I wonder why you played that option instead of the Tina.
Just because Tina can get more value. You can get 2
you
followers
get 2
with
for
it.
1.
Especially against a deck where you know they're playing Council of Card Knights. Those are neutral followers, so you can clean up the Bane and the Ward in a single swoop.
The Maisie comes down. Man, the carrot works so well.
Yeah.
In this list.
And this is not a matchup I don't think that you would expect this type of a Swordcraft deck to win on or going second against a neutral aggro blood deck, but it's holding its own and doing very well so far.
Baphomet can be played alongside the Tina, so this is nice. Very good.
There we go.
And that's going to help kind of Zeruel find some ways to navigate these next 2 turns.
And the Phantom Cat was a very welcome card here. Needed that card to kind of keep pace and continue the flow of damage. And realistically, this is up to 7 damage already from hand. So, you know, Zeruel's coming back now that he got some card draw.
Yeah, it's going to be important to figure out how to get past the Council. Double Councils, in fact.
Yeah. Council very good in this spot.
Yeah, it was adjusted up by 1 play point, but still actually a very, very good card.
Yeah, we saw a couple players switching over to Darksaber Melissa for a little while, just to try out just the big beefy ward. I think Council of Card Knights still just does a little bit more.
Yeah.
It separates out, and it just gives you more utility.
Yeah. The big thing to think about, I feel like, with this card is it lets you approach boards in 2 different ways, right? This 1 damage ping is great for kind of feeling like you aren't wasting anything, you know, in terms of swinging into a high damage follower with low defense, as we just saw. And the Bane kind of puts this infinity cap on how much attack this card values out to, right? Because a Bane can take down 3, 4, 5 defense.
Take out anything. Can take out this Phantom Cat, which it will most likely do this turn, and still allow him to do pretty much whatever else he wants to this turn. Another Council of Card Knights I can see being amazing here. Yeah.
Now what's really good for Zeruel is he pulled another Phantom Cat.
Yes. Phantom Cat into Phantom Cat. Unfortunately, it would have been better if he top decked the Phantom Cat instead of drawing it so he could deal more damage, but you can't have everything.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going with the Hedgehog plan. I like this.
This is, yeah, the buffing is actually so effective here, the 2-for-1s.
He can even hard trade in here. He doesn't need to.
I think he's just considering how risky it would be if he does. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
I mean, you know your opponent, and I believe after looking at Zeruel's list, he was playing 3 Angelic Knights and 3 Angel of the Words. Oh, okay. I like this, too. This just allows him to be aggressive while not, you know, side-skirting the fact that
do
this
the
board
job
can be dealt
for
with.
him,
Yep.
right? Doesn't activate.
Still not active.
Doesn't activate. He's 1 card short.
Yeah, this is.
And if you play the Phantom Cat, you lock yourself out of all options except for Razor Claw.
Yeah, Razor Claw honestly might have to be used on one of these hedgehogs right now.
4. Oh, that's so close.
That's lethal next turn.
That's so
The
close.
4 damage matters.
But how do you survive? How do you survive, right? He just passes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no way that Osav can
5,
deal
7, 8, 9.
lethal this turn.
12. No bad Catholic with the board wide.
Am I just discounting this card again?
with the board wide pump.
That's not lethal though.
Yeah, 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4.
Am I just counting wrong?
4,
8,
8
11.
plus 3 is 11. 11
14.
plus 3, 14. Oh, wow, he's
Yeah.
1 off!
But it does shut off the Razor Claw if he goes all in with the damage. If he doesn't, it's game. So if
This how do you ever see this choice? Oh my god! Osav!
Or wait a minute. Did I just miscount as well? No. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, no, it's lethal because he's got the Hector plus the Razor Claw, yeah.
It's 8 plus 6 is 14. And then, Hector gives 3, Razor Claw gives
All right, we didn't miss
3.
anything. I was right, Rainey. Okay, no lethal, and then lethal on the side of Zeruel. But yeah, Osav
but he
has
needs to swing
go
in.
everything. Oh, and that's it, right? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. They pump.
Yeah, they do pump. 4, 4, 4.
But he left it at 3.
No! Osav!
What a game again!
Oh my god, how could you ever know?
These games are crazy.
How could you ever know?
Oh my goodness!
Wow. He was just trying to play safe in the most traditional way. Normally, he was just trying to play a normal game of Shadowverse. And instead, the trickster got tricked.
Oh, that's so awesome.
The trickster got tricked.
Osav, my man. I feel for you that game.
Oh, God. We talked about, hey, you need to play things like Baphomets, which he got, and then Phantom Cats, which he got.
Yeah, he found the Baphomet into the Phantom Cat, which found another Phantom Cat, which found him the Hector, and enough cards in hand to play the Hector. Like,
Oh, no.
These games. So close, but so cool. These endings of these games have been the best we've seen in a long time. I'm so excited for today. I said it was going to be the Wild West of rotation today. It is not disappointing.
Oh, man. And now we get to see Mysteria.
That's true. We get to see Mysteria against Highlander Sword, affectionately. And Osav on camera, by the way, we like to mention this every day. If you give us your Skype details at the beginning of the tournament, we'll give you 1,000 extra vials if you make it to the top cut here. And you get to basically get your face streamed to all of our viewers.
Yep.
It's great.
Let's see how this lack of early game followers affects Zeruel's game plan here.
Well, he did draw one of his 2-drops. As a matter of fact, he drew
the other one.
But he is playing magic missiles too, so that plays into the Mysteria plan.
We've seen, and I think it was Sheepy.
It was Sheepy,
where he was using magic missiles. I think he was also using angelic snipes, and it just ended up being incredible.
Yeah.
Like he just had 3 of them and
so
then
much
2
damage.
of them.
Too much damage.
Yeah. I always like to say, like, when you're looking at these spells like angelic snipes, like magic missiles, they actually gain much more from Mysteria than, say, you know, something like a chain lightning.
Yeah,
right?
because it just costs so much less.
Yep, it costs so much less, and you are increasing. If you look at it from the percentage, you start to realize how much of a benefit that is, right?
Yep. Now, of course, angelic snipe only unlimited, but
yeah,
magic missile still a great option for the deck as well. And again, we've seen decks like this. I think this is the most close to actual burn runecraft that we've seen a Mysteria deck be. This is like very low to the ground, and it only has a few of the top end options.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Piercing Rune is really sick with.
Yeah, Piercing Rune is very sick. Yeah. The old 3 and 3.
For 2.
Yeah, pretty good.
Whenever your burn spell starts doing more than what it costs,
yeah,
you know that that's good news.
And I like this. Saving the telescope for when he can play the Carl to get some defense back. Great play here.
All right.
Yeah, this matchup looks so rough for Osav. He's already got the Master Mage Levy in hand, Zeruel does, and he's already got the Mysteria for endgame push.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be really
and it
hard.
fits really well into the curve, right? Like, turn 5, I think it's fine to just have a follower trade out board, and then 6 and beyond, you're just looking to do damage, damage.
Damage and keep the board clean. And he's got all the cards he needed to, had a good curve leading up to it. Now, it's a little tricky with this Carl now. Technically speaking, if he plays Carl, he can't really play the telescope on top of it next turn. He kind of board locks himself.
He needs to trade the Carl in, but I think he can spend one of them eventually. I think you Mysteria, then you Master Mage, which spends the rune, and
then you can save it for later.
Yep.
Absolutely. So giving up the Lancer of the Tempest option pretty early here.
Interesting. I guess it's not really that valuable against this kind of deck either, you know?
It's true. But when you don't present,
it's so beautiful.
When you don't present a big board, you're just gonna get overpowered every single turn by these cards that Zeruel has.
It's not. I mean, 4/4 for 5 is really great too.
It's not bad. All right, let's see. Osav, I think, might make a value play here. Yep, with the Geno.
Yeah. Completely fine. Very, very good.
Plays right into the Master Mage Levy.
And this, oh gosh. All these magic missiles become very dangerous too now.
Yeah, Piercing Rune buffed, Magic Missile buffed. Carl now has space so that he can start gaining some defense back and drawing some cards with the Telescope.
Yeah, and all this is great.
Yeah. Now, I guess it kind of stinks to use something like a Master Mage Levy right before something like a Council of Card Knights hits, but I still think that Zeruel's in a really good place here. However, after this Master Mage Levy, he hasn't really drawn into anything that can deal with Big's followers.
Really, I mean, he's leaning on the Telescope and the Magic Missiles to draw. He still has a lot of space, right? He has natural draw. He has 2 from those 2 cards, and the Piercing Rune can control whatever aftermath is of the Council of Card Knights.
That's right. And cards that Zeruel's probably looking for right now, definitely Grand Summoning. He's playing a 1 of. He's got 3 Mutagenic Bolts in this list.
Yeah.
So tons of them.
Yeah.
So he's got ways to clear the board, just not yet.
Yeah. And remember, it is important for Zeruel to either close the game before 9 or be above 10 at that point, because Osav can be very play point efficient here. That's interesting. He evolved that Storm for face damage, yeah?
Yeah, he's just trying to end the game by 9. I like the plan. The longer this game goes, the more advantage that Zeruel's going to have with that Mysteria build-up.
Yeah, okay, so there's a few ways to approach this. I think to kind of extend your value here, you probably Carl Evolve and Piercing Rune the Bane.
Yeah.
Do you try to brace Faith, I suppose? I don't know.
That's a rough proposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is on the draw, so that's going to be a turn too late.
It's going to be a turn too late. Unfortunately. that would have pretty much ended the game by itself.
Gosh.
Of course, Silverblade Golem turning all of these sigils into 3 damage, 2 play point spells, and with Mysteria, 4 damage spells. This might be enough, though. As long as he stays above 10, he can win this game.
Yeah.
He's got to do it. Now, using the Magic Missile to go face instead of taking care of the 3-5 is a little risky.
Yeah.
But it puts him into a game-winning position if Osav does not trade back with him.
So what's interesting is this actually is very, very tempting for Osav to spend the orb on the board. He needs to wipe the board, so he needs to use the Luminous Mage at this point.
I think the best play here
Mars
is
Mage.
Luminous Mage. Yeah, with Mars, you get that full board pump. You evolve the Mage into the Carl, and then you just go face for 3.
Yeah. You gotta dampen the healing.
Yeah. Dampen the healing. I don't think that they have any way of dealing that. I don't think we saw any Chain Lightnings. And again, this is open deck list, so there's no way to deal the 4 from hand immediately. We've already seen 2 Magic Missiles this game.
Yeah, definitely no Evolution Orb, so Silverblade Golem is not really... I think the best thing that you can pull is the Master Mage.
This is a great play, too. Even better, clear the entire board by getting full use out of that Mars. I like it.
Oh,
wow.
God! I would still just play the Telescope, actually, before you do anything.
Yeah, draw your cards. Now, Telescope doesn't basically mean an extra burn spell, but I don't think you need that many. You only need 2 at this point.
Yeah.
If you're Zeruel. You cannot play the Silverblade Golem, however tempting that might be.
2, 4, 6, 2, 10.
These top decks today, man.
2, 10, 12. So, yeah, there's no lethal for Osav on the next turn. No matter which way you cut the cake. He gets the free Evolution Orb because that Luminous Mage is still going to survive, actually.
But how does Zeruel end the game before this free evolved Albert just finishes him off?
What is the cost of the... What? No!
He's going for it, and he's going to lose the game because of it. Oh,
does
no.
he? Does
no.
Does he actually?
He doesn't. He doesn't because the ward is big enough
2,
where it sucks up enough damage. Just enough, as a matter of fact.
But he can frontline Cavalier and free evolve that. If you...
Okay.
Okay, 2, 4... He's lost?
Is this... I mean, this could be a loss, and I just didn't do the math correctly.
2, 5, and then 1 more card swing in. So he gets 5 plus 2 plus 3.
So 6, 7, 8,
7,
9,
10.
10.
No.
No.
Doesn't
One
have
off.
It. Oh my God! The
One
Silverblade Golem! The Silverblade. How many one-health victories are we gonna have here?
So never mind. See, we don't know these things, okay?
The
because
line of
we don't
play
these
is
cards.
so. I feel like the line of play was so risky, though.
It was risky. Of course, it was risky. But sometimes you just have to take the chance. Like, what did we just talk about? How does Zeruel win if he just plays the Master Mage Levy and just plays reactive the rest of this game?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's got to take that risk, that turn, and realistically, with the Albert coming down as the best play with an evolution on it, if you did the math correctly, like Zeruel did, then you know that it can't be lethal.
Yeah.
So you just do it.
It's so... Yeah.